using the backyard barbecue go-to standard, pulled pork. Today I'll be using a 7.5 pound pork butt, or you can also call it Boston butt. Interesting fact, pork butt is not actually on the back end of the piggy, it's on the front end, just above the shoulder. So it's up here on the front of the pig, as you can see in this image. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to pat down and dry off this pork butt to remove some of the excess water, blood, anything like that that could be on there, to help some of the seasoning and the mustard stick to it, to help make sure we have a good coating before we take it out and put it onto the grill. So before I start doing any kind of prep to the pork butt, I want to go ahead and get the grill ready to go. So I'm going to go out and fire it up, get it ready, have it up to temperature at 250 for about 15 minutes before I go to start putting anything on it. So that gives me plenty of time to go back inside, get the butt out, and get it ready to go. So in my pellet grill today, we're going to use in the hopper a hickory flavored wood pellet to try to give it that really nice hickory smoke flavor that's going to be put into that, it's going to be impregnated into that Boston butt today. So it's going to be really, really good. So for today's cook, I'm only going to use 2 real ingredients. I'm going to use just plain yellow mustard that you would just put on a ham sandwich. We're going to use this. We're going to use about a half a cup of it total. And then for today, for my seasoning, I was actually at one of our local barbecue supply stores, a really cool spot, and they have tons of rubs and seasonings, and they have samples that you can try. And I found one today, or the other day, it's by a company called Church, and the name of the rub is called Honey Hog Barbecue. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Church has not paid me to use their products or to endorse them. It's something that I ran across, and I like the flavor of it, and the price point was right while I was out shopping at the local barbecue supply place. So it's something I wanted to give it a shot. So we're going to try it out today. We're going to turn the butt upside down with the fat slab facing upwards. Next, we're going to drip some of the mustard onto the fat slab and kind of smear it around until it has a nice thin coating of the mustard. Next, we're going to flip that butt over, and now we're going to go ahead and coat the rest of the butt to include the sides as well as the top with the rest of the mustard. After the mustard has all been applied, it should look something like this. Just for ease of handling this thing, we're going to go ahead and flip the pork butt back over to have the fat slab facing back up. We're going to go ahead and apply this rub to the bottom of the pork butt. Let's go ahead and sprinkle it on there. We don't want to just pile it on there unless you want an extra thick bark, even more, a stronger seasoning flavor. If you want more of that pork flavor to come out, then just a nice, nice light, even coating. Once we get that rub on the bottom, let's go ahead and flip that butt back over to where the fat slab is back down onto our pan. And then we want to go ahead and finish coating the top and all the sides with some more of this the rub that we're using, or the rub that you're using. All right, so now we need to check on our grill. Let's go see if it's up to about 250. Once it is, we can go ahead and transfer this pork butt to the grill and let it transform into an amazing meal for later on today. All right, so once we place this pork butt on the grill, we want to leave it shut. Leave this thing closed, let it go. If you have a leave-in meat thermometer, go ahead and put that in before we shut the lid. Make sure that all the connection works. If it's wireless or Bluetooth, or if it's like mine, it taps directly into the grill. It's great. So let's keep that plugged in. Let's get it centered into the middle of the meat, and let's just shut this thing up and just walk away. So today, cooking around 250 degrees, we're probably looking at about an 8 to maybe 10 hour cook time. It depends a lot on the outside variables like the temperature, how much wind you have. It could be even some of the Brend pellets might burn a little hotter or cooler than other ones do. So what we're going to do is just keep our eye on the thermometer. We're going to set a timer for about 4 hours to kind of come back and check it. So after about the 4 hour mark, we're looking at the temperature is probably going to be around the 135 to 145 degree temperature range. This is kind of what we call a stalling point. This is where we get really impatient. We're sitting there looking at this thing and we're like, all right, is it ever going to get to higher than this degree? It will. Just be patient. Alright, so we should be getting close to being done. Oh man, look at that. It looks amazing. So we're sitting right at about 195. So we should be getting close. Alright, so at this point, the butt is just over 200 degrees. That's where we want it. Just about 202 to 205. And what that's doing is that's letting that meat cook a little bit longer, and it's helping the fat on the inside kind of break down and render, and it's going to be even more tender and soft. So let's take a look and see what this thing looks like. Oh yeah, nice bark on the outside of that bad boy. So we're going to close this up. I'm going to grab my gloves. We're going to take this thing off. Alright, as you can see, we got a nice bark on the outside of this. After cooking, it's kind of pulled away from the bone, which is exactly what we're looking for. This thing should just fall right off when we go to pull it. So now I'm going to take it, wrap it in some tin foil, and let it rest for about an hour. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to set it, I'm going to let it rest in just a plain ice chest or cooler, wrapped in the tin foil, and then I'm going to take and place a towel over the top of it here, just to kind of help insulate it. So I'm going to let it hang out there for the next hour or so. Alright, so now we've got the pulled pork has been hanging out in the cooler or the ice chest for a little while. It's been sitting there resting. So we had a towel down on top of it. Take the towel out. This out. We're going to go through and unwrap it. You got a nice bark left out of it, nice and tender. So we're going to transfer it from here over to our glass pan, where we're going to go ahead and start pulling off the bone. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and start breaking this thing down and start to do the shredding portion of it. So we're going to need to remove the meat from the bone itself. So since we've got gloves, we can go ahead and pull. You can see it just falls off the bone itself. And that's it. So we'll go ahead and set that off to the side. Make sure we didn't leave any other little bits in there. Good. Alright, so we're going to take the forks and start shredding. So you just take and just pull apart like this. And they make other tools that you can buy that will go through and let you do like bear claws, but for this, I don't have those fancy tools, so we're just going to go ahead and just use forks. You can look on the inside. We have this nice smoke ring right here, and it's just so tender and just very, very nice, soft. So we're going to go ahead and keep shredding until we get it all done. Alright, and after you've shredded everything out, make sure you remove the fat slab off the bottom of it so it doesn't get mixed all in there. There you go, finished product. Looks great. So tonight's dinner was pulled pork that we cooked out on the grill today. Brought it in, amazing dinner. It had a nice smoke ring to it, had a nice bark to it. Flavor was just spot on. I couldn't have asked for anything better. So give it a shot, try it. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line. Again, thanks for watching Cook, Bake, and Grill.